Last weekend, my wife and I spent a wonderful few hours with our daughter, who was looking after her new grandson and our first great-grandson, while his mum and dad were having a break for a couple of days. It brought back memories of the times we spent with our 10 grandchildren as they were growing up, the fun we had and the games we played like all grandparents. And we took the opportunity to introduce Finn, who's about 14 months old now, to our rescue crossbred Labrador called Bess. It didn't take long for Finn and Bess to get used to each other, and it reminded me how important a role pets in general, and perhaps dogs and cats in particular, can play in the lives of children as they grow up. We've always had 2 and sometimes 3 dogs and assorted cats, and I'm sure they helped our own children to learn about grooming, feeding, and all the responsibilities of looking after animals. And when the time was right, about birth, life and death in the family. So I read with some concern reports from the BVA and from the president of FECALVA, that's the European Federation of Companion Animal Veterinary Associations, that vaccination rates of family pets have been pushed dangerously below the threshold at which disease outbreaks can be readily contained. Apparently, vaccination skepticism is a growing threat for animals and for people, partly because we're much less inclined to accept the word of experts that we once were. In many ways, it's not surprising, and the older I get, the more I doubt the wisdom of many of so-called experts, perhaps with economists and politicians top of the list. One of the lessons I learned at school, but probably not from the teachers, was that the definition of an expert was X as a has-been and spurt, a drip under pressure. However, my question today is what we might do as a profession to make our clients aware of the importance of keeping our animals, our patients, up to date with vaccination in line with current recommendations. Trying to argue the case by nagging and preaching won't help, and will simply come across as another example of expert arrogance. Perhaps we need more animal-owning role models in the public eye, promoting the value of responsible pet ownership. Or perhaps we simply need to be sure that every vet, every technician or vet nurse practices what they preach. Maybe I should make sure that Bess is up to date with her vaccinations, spot on, worming, and the other preventive medicine measures recommended by her vet. See you next time.